Alright, let's finish this up. Okay, we've got, I want to put a little bit more, oops, on the face, just a little bit stronger. Just a little bit stronger on the face here. Remember, he's not a pretty boy. He's a okay. Now I'm going to take a little gray. And let's go ahead while we're at it with a small brush. Let's add just a little bit of brown. Okay. Let's just add just a little bit of brown to that that red. Okay. Let's just add a little bit of that to that. Give it kind of a reddish brown look. To the hair. There we go. Give it kind of a look there. Now, where it just isn't completely red. Okay, I want to use a little gray. I'm going to take a little gray and I want to put it on the end of the axe. Alright, I'm going to let that dry for just a second. Now, I went ahead and drilled a small hole in his mouth to put a little cigar. I'm going to take a little super glue, and all this is, folks, all that is just a toothpick. I cut off the end of a toothpick. Put a little super glue on it, and I'm going to stick it in his mouth. There. Just like that. Now, you take a little brown and you hit that cigar with a little brown, okay? Okay? You just hit that cigar with a little bit of brown, and you let that dry. Let me see here. Okay, you want to take a little black, but you don't want, you want to get the black. Let me see where I can find, where's my black at? Here it is. No, that's blue. No, that's black. I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't tell the difference. You want to take a little black, and you just want to dip it and touch the end of that cigar with it. Makes it look like an ash. Okay? Just touch it. Looks like an ash a little bit. Okay? Now, you let that dry. And then you take a little, you can use the red oxide. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I'm going to use the red oxide with it. And then you take a little red oxide, and don't water it down. Don't water it down. And take and dip your brush in it and just barely tip that. There we go. And it shows like it's lit. In other words, just a little red on the tip right there. Just hit it with a little red, and it'll dry that way. Okay. So you see the red and the black both. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little black, a little more black. I might have enough left from over here. Let's see. Yeah, I have enough left from over here. And I'm just going to go over this just a little bit on the gray, over the gray just a little bit, just to give a little bit darker look on on the head of the axe. Okay. Now, once the flesh is dried, then what I do is I'll take my red oxide, I'll water it down real good, and then I'll just go over the flesh a little bit, just to give it that that red look, just a little bit. Now, and then that will dry, and it will just barely give that reddish look to the flesh color that we have here. Okay? Now I have to let the figure dry, and then I'm going to go put it in some boiled linseed oil and let it dry overnight. And I'm going to put it, I let it dry overnight, I wipe it off, I let it dry overnight, and then I have another little thing that kind of brings the color out that I'm using. It's brand new. I started using it on my small carvings, and I'll show you what it is. But there is our little figure. You say, well golly, there's not much color there. Well, when you begin to dip it into the boiled linseed oil, it brings out the color. And then I've got another solution I'm going to show you. It will bring out the color even more. So that's why I don't have a deep color on this person. And besides, I'm going to be honest with you, clothes are not a deep color. This is a old woodcutter, just like my hobos that I do. I mean, it's nice to have all that fancy stuff, but most of these men were hard workers, and their clothes were just worn. You know, they were just not pretty. They were workers, and just like their axes were used, and all that other stuff that goes along with it. In other words, so in a manner of speaking, I'm going to take. Now let me do a little bit more. I'm going to take this gray and just go over that one more time over the black. See, it gives it kind of the black and gray color that we have. So I'll show you. I'll dip it into the boiled linseed oil once it dries. This doesn't take long for the acrylics to dry. And then I'm going to let it dry overnight. Then I'm going to dip it into I'm going to dip it into a stain, a very light stain, and I'm going to wipe that off real quick, and I'm going to show you what it does to the color as well. It was something I discovered by accident, so I really like it now. And I just got this plate. This is an old plate, and I'm using it just like a thing. I like the plastic or the glass because you can take and just basically mix your colors as you're right here and doing it, in other words, and stuff like that. And I use very neutral drab colors, so let's put it that way. Okay, God bless you now, and next we'll go to the boiled linseed oil.